In a world where power is usually in the hands of men, there is a place hidden in the waters of the Atlantic where women not only lead, but are the true guardians of tradition and culture. The Bijagos Archipelago is a territory where each island holds secrets that few know about, and where ancient rituals continue to shape the lives of the inhabitants. What makes this place so special? Why are these seemingly remote islands the setting for such powerful stories? In this video, you'll discover secrets that defy logic, traditions that stand the test of time, and a way of life that few dare to imagine. If you think you've seen it all, prepare to be surprised. Number 1. Location and geographical data. Few people know it, but the Bijagos Archipelago is located in the Atlantic Ocean, about 31 miles off the coast of Guinea-Bissau in West Africa. Made up of 88 islands, only 20 of which are inhabited, this archipelago is a true sanctuary of biodiversity and culture. The islands spread over a vast area of approximately 3,800 square miles and are known for their stunning landscapes with white, sandy beaches, lush mangroves, and dense forests. Each island has its own personality, with a unique combination of natural beauty and cultural traditions that date back centuries. In addition to their natural beauty, the Bijagos Islands are considered a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, thanks to their rich biodiversity and the vital role they play in the conservation of endangered species such as the pygmy hippopotamus and sea turtles. Now that we know where we are, let's dive into the fascinating history of this archipelago. Number 2. History. The history of the Bijagos Archipelago is as rich as its landscapes. The Bijagos are a people who bravely resisted Portuguese colonization, preserving their traditions and culture over the centuries. It is believed that the archipelago has been inhabited for over 2,000 years, with the first people settling here due to the natural isolation provided by the islands. During the colonial period, the Portuguese repeatedly tried to subjugate the Bijagos, but the islands maintained a strong resistance, partly due to their challenging geography and the indomitable spirit of their people. This resistance has meant that the people have not bowed down, keeping much of their culture intact to this day. Number 3. Population and economy. The Bijagos Archipelago is home to around 33,000 inhabitants, mainly spread over 5 of its 88 islands. The most important inhabited islands are Boubaké, Orango, Canhabake, Uno, and Roxa. On these islands, the inhabitants live in tabancas, villages made up of red clay huts with thatched roofs, buildings that reflect the Bijagos' deep connection with their traditions and the environment. The archipelago's economy is largely based on agriculture and fishing, activities that have sustained the population for generations. Each island plays its part in agricultural production and fishing, with the inhabitants growing manioc, corn, rice, and other staple foods. Fishing is a complementary activity that helps ensure subsistence. In addition, women play a crucial role, not only in agriculture, but also in collecting shellfish and shells, which are the main source of animal protein for the communities. Tourism, although still modest, is growing. In 2017, around 30,000 tourists visited the archipelago, attracted by the natural beauty of the islands and the rich Bijago culture. Ecological tourism is beginning to gain ground, with some facilities offering authentic and sustainable experiences for visitors. The economy of the islands reflects Guinea-Bissau's dependence on agriculture and fishing, which account for around 62% of the national GDP. The country is one of the largest producers of cashew nuts in the world, as well as exporting fish, shellfish, peanuts, and forestry products. activities that also have an impact on the Bijagos Islands. Number 4. Stunning nature. If there is one place where nature shows all its splendor, it is the Bijagos Archipelago. The archipelago is a true ecological paradise, with a biodiversity that includes some of the rarest and most endangered species on the planet. One of the greatest natural attractions of these islands is the presence of the pygmy hippopotamus, a rare species that finds a safe haven in the forests and swamps of the Bijagos. In addition, the archipelago is an important nesting site for sea turtles, which find an ideal environment to lay their eggs on the secluded beaches. The crystal-clear waters around the islands are rich in marine life, making the archipelago a perfect destination for diving and wildlife watching. Dolphins, tropical fish, and even sharks can be spotted in these waters, providing a unique spectacle for visitors. The mangroves, which surround most of the islands, also play a crucial role in maintaining the region's ecological balance, providing shelter for countless species of birds and fish. Now that we know the nature of the archipelago, let's explore the uniqueness of society. Number 5. Matriarchal society. Imagine a place where women are at the center of everything. In the Bijagos Archipelago, this is the reality. On the islands, especially in Orango, women organize themselves into associations that take care of the economy, social welfare, and even the laws of the community. They decide what will be planted, are responsible for harvesting the fruits of the cashew tree, which are used to make palm wine, and are also the main advisors on family matters. It is a system in which women not only manage the house and the land, but also guide the community in important decisions. Bijagos women are seen as absolute masters, respected for their wisdom and leadership skills. The men's role, although important, is supportive. They help with the work and offer advice, but they always recognize the female leadership. And it doesn't stop there. The Balobaras, who are the priestesses of the community, have a special responsibility. They pass on the wisdom of the ancestors, especially during the straw-cutting rite, a crucial moment that marks the transition of young women into adulthood. In addition, these priestesses have the task of choosing the future queen, always guided by the spirits, ensuring that the leadership is in line with the community's spiritual traditions. The Bijagos are also organized into clans, and in Orango, 4 of them coexist: the Oraga, the Ogubani, the Orakuma, and the Okinda. The name of the clan passes from mother to daughter, further reinforcing the central role of women in the continuity of traditions. A curiosity is that, among the Bijagos, serious crimes are rarely remembered. Only small fights are part of the collective memories. In other words, the women here have a lot of authority. The geographical isolation of the islands, combined with the reserved and zealous nature of the animist traditions, has helped preserve this unique society, where matriarchy is not just a social structure, but a deeply respected way of life. This structure not only promotes equality, but also ensures that ancestral cultural practices remain alive and strong, maintaining the rich heritage of the Bijagos throughout the generations. Number 6. Unak. Speaking of female power, we can't fail to mention one of the most significant rituals on the islands of Soga, Bubake, and Galinya, the Unak. This sacred ritual symbolizes the transition of girls to adulthood and plays a crucial role in the life of a Bijago woman. More than a simple ceremony, this practice confers prestige and wisdom, shaping the collective identity based on the beliefs and customs shared by the community. The process is carried out in 3 stages, each corresponding to different phases of life. The first, dedicated to virgin girls known as Kampuni, is considered the most rigorous. For approximately 3 months, these girls are isolated from the community and receive intensive training, where they learn moral, physical, and even sexual lessons. This period is crucial as it prepares the girls for the responsibilities they will assume in society. The belief is that, during this time, the girls lend their bodies to the reincarnation of the souls of men who died before completing their own transition rituals. This strengthens the spiritual connection between the living and the ancestors, a theme deeply rooted in Bijagos culture. As the girls get older, they go through the second phase, which takes place between the ages of 17 and 25. At this stage, the women already have greater knowledge and experience and continue to take part in rituals that reaffirm their importance and role within the community. Although virginity is no longer a requirement, this ceremony remains a vital milestone, consolidating their status and power within society. The last stage, which can take place up to the age of 45, is more symbolic, but no less important. This final stage serves to consolidate the entire cycle of women's social formation. Those who complete this process are recognized as full and respected members of the community. On the other hand, those who do not go through this stage are excluded from certain activities, and if they die, are not given a full burial as full members of society. But that's just one of the rituals and traditions of this place. Number 7. Initiation Ritual. One of the most significant practices in the passage to adulthood on the islands is scarification, which involves creating permanent scars on the skin through controlled cuts. This process is not just aesthetic, it carries deep cultural significance. The resulting scars are seen as symbols of beauty, courage, and maturity, as well as indicating a person's social status within the community. For men, this rite includes circumcision at an age that, by Western standards, would be considered advanced. In addition, they must spend up to 6 months alone in the forest, a period of introspection and spiritual connection with nature. The scars, as well as the experience of isolation, symbolize the transition to adulthood and spiritual empowerment. Women play a central role in spiritual ceremonies, taking responsibility for practically every aspect of the rituals. They cook, play music, dance, and serve wine to the men who observe the events. Number 8. Ancestor Worship. In island culture, reverence for ancestors is an essential part of everyday life. The spirits of the departed are seen as guardians of the community and families, maintaining a continuous connection with the world of the living. These spirits, called Orabok, are considered vital forces that continue to exist after death, acting as intermediaries between the human and spiritual worlds. These spirits are not invoked directly, but their power and influence are respected through ceremonies that take place at important times of the year, according to the needs of the community. During these rituals, food and symbolic objects are offered to honor the dead, ensuring that their souls are at peace and that the community continues to be protected. The rituals take place in balobas, sacred altars where people go to connect with the spirits, ask for protection, or simply keep the memory of their ancestors alive. These places are considered the dwelling place of sacred entities and are fundamental for communication with the spirit world. The relationship between the living and the dead is continuous and deeply integrated into everyday life. There is a belief that the souls of the ancestors need to be appeased through rituals and offerings, especially at events such as the birth of a child, when it is common to present the newborn to the baloba to ensure that the cycle of life continues in harmony. In addition, the local religion is animist, which means that they see the natural world as inhabited by spirits who influence human destiny. For them, the dead continue to reside in sacred places, such as trees, forests, and certain islands, which are seen as the abodes of these spirits. This view of the world, where the sacred is present in all aspects of life, makes the relationship with the ancestors a central part of religious and cultural practices. Number 9. Festival of Masks. Another significant event is the Festival of the Masks, a celebration where masks carved by local artisans come to life in dances and rituals. This festival has deep roots in the history of the islands and is closely linked to the animist beliefs that permeate the local culture. According to ancient stories, the masks represent ancestral spirits and sacred animals that protect the community. It is said that, in ancient times, these spirits appeared to the inhabitants of the islands, teaching them to carve their forms in wood as a means of maintaining contact with the spirit world. It is believed that, during the festival, the dancers wearing the masks temporarily assume the identities of these spirits, creating a bridge between the world of the living and the dead. Dancing with the masks is not just an artistic performance, but a direct communication with the spirits who guide and protect life on the islands. The Festival of the Masks also serves as a moment of spiritual renewal for the community. Number 10. Art and Crafts. To close, it is essential to talk about the handicrafts of the islands, which are a fundamental expression of local culture. In the communities, art goes beyond aesthetics. It is a means of keeping alive the traditions and stories passed down from generation to generation. The women of the islands are known for their weaving and pottery skills. They produce fabrics adorned with geometric patterns, which are used to make clothes and accessories. These patterns have specific meanings, often linked to legends, ancestral stories, or symbols of protection. As well as being functional, these pieces are valued for their connection to the island's cultural heritage. Wood carvings, especially the masks we talked about earlier, are also important in local art, as this is a skill passed down mainly by the men, who work with wood from sacred trees due to their spiritual connection with the ancestors. Masks play a central role in rituals and festivals, representing spirits, sacred animals, and mythological figures. In addition to their use in ceremonies, these masks and other sculptures are sold as pieces of art, connecting the islands to the outside world and preserving their traditions. And so our journey through the Bijagós Archipelago comes to an end. If you were fascinated by this piece of African paradise, be sure to explore more about other cultures and unique places around the world in the videos available here on the channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications to keep following our next adventures in this bello mundo. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure.